Well, the vice presidential nominees gearing up for their one and only face-off tonight along with University in Virginia. And while the two will spend the night highlighting their differences to voters, the running mates are alike in a very important way. They were both born Catholics. So how will their faith play into the debate? Here to discuss, the LifeSet founder and editor-in-chief. We got Fox News contributor as well, Laura Ingraham. Good morning to you, Laura.
Hey, good to see you guys.
You know, you do look at them, both born Catholic. One is for the death penalty. The other is for abortion when necessary. How big do you think faith is going to be?
I think it's not been discussed very much in this campaign, and I think that's a real shame because the issue of religious liberty is critical to values voters, and we have a massive number of evangelical Christians and still Catholics who think religious liberty, regardless of what you think about these prudential judgments about the death penalty, that for individual groups, universities, hospitals, those who minister to the poor, they absolutely must have their religious conscience rights preserved by the courts in this country. And the Democrats have been very clear, in my mind, that they have no concern about religious liberty when it comes to the issue of abortion, contraceptive rights, and, of course, redefining marriage, gender theory, those kinds of things. So I think that is a very big issue. And on the issue of abortion, we should remember that Tim Kaine, although he calls himself a Catholic, and I understand that, that is considered an intrinsic evil by the Catholic Church. It's not like the death penalty, which is a prudential judgment the Catholic Church makes, but the issue of abortion goes right to separating the communicant from the sacred rite of Holy Communion.
I think it's a big folly for people to say these guys are such policy wonks, it's going to be boring. I don't. I think Mike Pence has done a better job going to bat for Donald Trump and his policies than Donald Trump at times. He's certainly got more experience in doing it. So yesterday, Hillary Clinton took to the stump and started mocking Donald Trump on his experience in business. Let's look.
Here's my question. What kind of genius loses $1 billion in a single year? How anybody can lose $1, let alone $1 billion in the casino industry is kind of beyond me.
And she knows so much about the casino industry. So what's your take on this?
Yeah, well, of course, Trump was right when he said she's never created a single job in her life, so she wouldn't know the first thing about business people who take risks and are operating in the changing landscape of interest rates and changing markets, which Trump was operating in. But I think about that word genius, and I think to myself, you were actually Secretary of State, Mrs. Clinton, and was it genius to move to a reset of our relations with Russia and not even be able to get the translation of the button correct? Or was it genius to think the Iran deal was actually going to lead to nuclear non-proliferation? Or was it genius to have your staff hammer your BlackBerries and, as we learned from Catherine Herridge last night at Fox, destroy computers and allow that to happen in an ongoing investigation? Was any of that genius? Show me Hillary's genius and protecting the security and the foreign policy influence of this country, and I'll listen to her on what is genius and what is not. She has no standing on business or enhancing our foreign policy stature across the globe because she hasn't done it. She hasn't done either.
And Donald Trump has not backed off in Colorado yesterday. He further defined what he was doing and how he wants to straighten it out.
And you think about it, guys. Think about how many of Hillary's big donors on Wall Street or Goldman Sachs, any of these big banks that are supporting Hillary, how many of them have paid more in federal taxes than the law required? And if she has all these names for us, give us 2 names.
Laura Ingraham, always great to talk to you. Thanks so much.
Good to see you guys.
Appreciate it.